We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist. And it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Bloomgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Bloomgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen.
They'll be calling you a radical. Time for all you ideologues to crawl out of your dogma snuggies. I know you're all comfy in them. Laying there on the coast of California and Tennessee, all over the world. You're really all comfy, divided yourself up. Whatever they feed you, you take it hook, line, sinker. Ooh, you divide right up. Draw a line. Oh, yeah. What did Operation Foxconn tell me? We're going to talk a lot about plutonium wars today. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Ukraine, in the nuclear theater, which is a very big deal. You know, we're going to talk about, tie it into the plutonium wars at Oak Ridge, Tennessee, at the House of Windsor, at the Ukraine, in Russia. We're going to tie it into Fukushima. First and foremost, Fukushima. I think it's kind of crazy that I have to keep defining this, and sometimes I forget that people don't understand that. First, Westinghouse was bought out by Toshiba. The deal's been going on for years. They retained for it. It was the backdoor American policy and it was recommended by the Department of Energy. So Westinghouse is Toshiba. Now let's dig a little deeper. Toshiba is TEPCO. Toshiba and TEPCO have a relationship that goes way back. Their new deals are being struck with them all the time. Now let's be clear. Who folds over the top of all of them? Relationships with them all. The same board of directors, the same corporate structure, contracts through the United States Department of Energy, General Electric. TEPCO is the Department of Energy in the United States. The Department of Energy is the Department of Kansas, the Department of GE. Now, you look it up. The Department of Energy funds 12 times more than everything else combined to nuclearism. You get all wound up about the banking cartel, and rightfully so, but the banking cartel is tiny in comparison to the nuclear cartel. We're going to talk a lot about the 100-year historical history repeating itself in the same place, which is called the Ukraine now. What's going on over there? There are 15 nuclear reactors in the Ukraine. Scary? Oh, yeah. And by the way, this morning, Europe's biggest oil refinery is on fire. Yeah, in the Ukraine. It's burning right now as we speak. There is a full-blown out war taking place. And we sit here abstractly and, Operation Foxconn. Now let's get into this. Why are you still dividing up? Oh, the Russians are bad, the Americans good. When Putin is the new czar. Pussy Riot gets this. Megan Rice gets this. Megan Rice screamed her head off. An 84-year-old nun, the daughter of Dr. Rice, tried to call attention to you. Broke into Y12, just try to wake you sheep up. Won't wake you up. Won't wake you up. You're still dividing up on teams. Oh, yeah, that freaking Obama's weak. They're all weak. They're the same team. Putin and Obama are on the same team. Now, whose team they on? The Royals. This is the new inbred family. It's the same dysfunctional family that existed in 1914. Oh, I thought they executed all those guys. I thought they killed the czars. Isn't the revolution, didn't they kill them right down to man, woman, child? Oh, remember Anastasia? Oh, she supposedly floated on the mountain, was living in Virginia. How about that con? American, the Hound of the Masquerade Party. Remember her? She lived in Virginia all those years, claimed she was Anastasia for all those years, and finally, DNA come around. Oh, yeah, she was lying the whole time. So they took them all out. Oh, the House of Windsor still stood. The United States is a colony of the House of Windsor and the Department of Energy, and how they pulled it off through Operation Foxconn, through the apparatus of you and I. Throw down a wedge issue to us. Guns go God, guns go go. Woo, woo, woo. We're all fired up. Mission accomplished. This is a plutonium war. Plutonium, huh? Yeah, that's a man-made product. Now, let's think about this. Yeah, all wars are natural resources wars. That's how wealth is easily extracted. You want to be a billionaire? Yeah, you might get lucky, and Wall Street might do an IPO on some bullshit Facebook or something you might fall into that. That might happen. But that's random luck in so many ways. How can you guarantee you're going to be multi-billionaire and control societies? Through religion? Yeah, we can do that. As they lead you around by at least via religion. They've always done that, and then they just lie about their own doctrine. But there's an easier, guaranteed way that's always existed. Natural resources. Oil. Oh, gold. Oh, silver. The new oil, gold, silver. Plutonium, man-made. Now, why? If you control all the nuclearism, nuclear power exists for one reason and one reason only. One reason. Nuclear weapons. Oh, no, we need the energy. No. The United States is producing close to 300% of the energy we use. Well, where's it going? Oh, we're going to have an energy boom. Yay, we're going to get it. Yay, good. We got an energy boom going on. Oh, British Petroleum's extracting it, taking it right to the ports. Oh, Deepwater Horizon out in the Gulf. Yay, look at us, yay. Really? You on the board of directors of British Petroleum? You on the board, you Dick Cheney's niece? You on the board of directors of Halliburton? Oh, I'm a shareholder. When there's no corporate responsibility, so the corporate boards just leech. Oh, I paid myself $300. I think I'll give my raise to $400 million. Well, the shareholders will vote you out. What are you talking about? Well, they have vote by proxy once a year. These people can't even read their stock statements. We have window dressing. We have off-balance sheet accounting. We do whatever we want. Oh, yeah. This is a very real situation that's going on over there. A very real situation. Very scary. You ain't kidding. The Ukraine themselves comes out. Is it the Ukraine? No. The Ukraine, the populace. Let's talk about the pains that place has freaking seen in 100 years. Oh, what about the Russian famine? Ooh, horrible. I mean, you know, people died. World War I. World War II. They lost 27 million men in World War II. Oh, Chernobyl. How come it didn't end Chernobyl? Oh, Gorbachev's wife died of leukemia. Oh, Reagan and Gorbachev were ready to sign the freaking non-proliferation contract. Gorbachev said, let's do it. Let's just get rid of them all. Ronnie, okay, the astrologer said so. Oh, Teller. Who's Teller? What? He was still around? The guy that Oppenheimer hated his guts? Einstein hated his guts? They all hated that Hungarian? That lunatic? That freaking madman? That mass murder and eugenics kill the earth madman? Yeah, that's the most evil human being who ever existed in the history of mankind. Oh, yes, absolutely. Not my words, Einstein and Oppenheimer's words. I took the field. Everybody said no more bomb after it was dropped on Hiroshima. By the way, my 3/11/11 symposium will be on the apron of the Enola Gay hangar in that dynamic. It's much more than the hangar down there. And it's just been in decay since it happened. Everybody forgot about it. Everybody knows about Hanford. Everybody knows about Oak Ridge. Everybody knows about Los Alamos. And it's all coming home to roost right now. But there's one more. They had a huge apparatus up there where they're testing the bomb, practicing on the bomb, and the hangar's been restored, but the rest hasn't. So that's why I'm doing it there. Teller's office right there. Excuse me, not Teller's. Tippett's office right there. It's all coming full circle right now. The chickens are coming home to roost, and this is 1914, history repeating itself, but one very different component. Yeah, it was gas in those days, nerve gas, and which, you know how many Americans were killed with nerve gas? How many Russians were killed with nerve gas? France, everybody always goes back to, well, France doesn't have a problem. Right and left, I hear they don't have a problem with nuclear. Do they have earthquakes in France? I don't know. But Germany sure has a problem with it. It's pretty ironic how this all folds forward. We don't use nuclear power. And I love how it's clean, Al Gore. As he builds a house sucking up $8,000 with energy a month. Let's talk about Hillary. And let's talk about this. This is a big deal. Hillary Clinton, Hillary Westinghouse Rodham, the arranged marriage to Bill Clinton, the Rhodes Scholar from Oxford, the non-usury university, has been trying to get rid of tariffs since the day we put them in. 1789, the Tariff Act of 1789, Alexander Hamilton, before the Bill of Rights. Let's think about her last act as United States Secretary of State. That's the government, the top of the heap. I didn't know that Westinghouse was part of the United States government, part of the taxpayer. Oh, yeah, she used the word Westinghouse multiple times in her last act. She went to Czechoslovakia. She didn't ask. She told the president, you jerk the contract with the Russian firm to expand your nuclear program, and you give it to Westinghouse. She used the word Westinghouse over and over and over. Her last act. How can a Secretary of State promote a private company and do it so blatantly right in public? America doesn't care anymore. She did it. Well, get this. Yesterday, it's being reported by Reuters. Yep. Contracts being pulled. Yep. Being awarded to Westinghouse. Oh, I thought Toshiba bought Westinghouse. Somebody forgot to tell Hillary. Oh, that was just a smokescreen to avoid American law, American antitrust laws. Oh, what's an antitrust law? Oh, yeah, remember we were trying to take that thief Bill Gates down in the late 90s? Let's reverse that. Oh, Windows 2013 still won't even correct the freaking capital spilled letter. Smash, crush all of competition. That's exactly what he's done. That's why America was always the opposite to that. There was nothing more quintessential American, than we did not believe in inherited wealth. We did not believe in the royals. There was nothing more American to hate the Queen and the House of Windsor. We hated that system, the monarchy system. Not now. You guys love it. Ooh, we love it. Hey, look at that little Kate. Kate just had a baby. His name's George, huh? Who's King George? Mission accomplished. Usury America. So they break the contract. You think there's some coincide realities to what's going on in Ukraine right now? Plutonium wars. Now think about this. The House of Windsor, where's the biggest stockpile of plutonium on Earth? White 12. United States. Building more bombs after Gorbachev and Reagan signed the deal in violation of international law, in violation of all law. They don't care. We don't care. The military industrialized complex on Balco got amok. But we support it. Yay, then terrorists are going to get us. We need to protect. Yay. Who, then terrorists are going to get us. I'm scared. Let's sign the Non-Patriot Act. Let's give up every freedom this country ever fought for with one stroke of the pen. Mission accomplished. We need it. American populace plays ball. If the American populace was to rise up, there would be no stopping it. None. But they won't. Yeah, they rose up and Occupy, and a lot of people saying what they did. They shouldn't have never quit. Got afraid, smashed them down, and I know, I understand. New York City military industrialized police force has played ball, went after people. But the American populace falls for it. Now think about this. Fox News goes after Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama 24/7. 24/7. Why? This is the biggest slam dunk in the world, and it has been for a long time. In the nuclear cartel with Obama, why Fukushima is ongoing, the cover-up of Fukushima, the crashing of Radnet, Gina McCarthy, head of Radnet, then she becomes head of the EPA. I don't see Fox News, Operation Foxconn talking about it, because it's not Fox News, it's Operation Foxconn. It's run by Rupert Murdoch. Yes, he's a royal. Oh yeah. Right out of the same thesis. Every one of you guys, here, go buy a gun. Ooh, get some more gold. Ooh, that's my answer. I love it. How you get your passion going. And, you can have an intelligent conversation, then all of a sudden you get right to it and you'll jump right to the gun. I want to know, and I'm all for it, go get your gun, I don't care. How is that going to protect you from anything? It's not. Just like, they're going to put us in a FEMA camp. Really? What do you think the 0% interest rate that the Fed has slashed down over and over at Greenspan? Oh, another one of the Queen's freaking Operation Foxconn. So you multi-leverage your house up, then mask over for the service-based economy? You mean usury-based economy. The young populace, when are they going to get mad? They're so smashed down, they've been born in the cage. They don't know any better. They don't know what we know as baby boomers. We knew better. We lived free. We lived with no debt. We had 40-hour work weeks. Time and a half. We had all these powerful things. Plan on going back to New York 2 weeks. That's what I was up to. Yeah, the shirtwaist fire. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that thing. I didn't. I was trying to lead up my post-ignorant socioeconomic movement. I was in New York City the winter of 2010 at NYU, where I knew everything had to be started. And I got involved with a lot of the young people right there in that square. We met. I ended up being the early occupiers, and we were all working together on it. But then, that's March 25th, 2011. But something happened 2 weeks before. Oh, Fukushima. I knew when it happened. I'm like, this is our greatest fears ever had just happened. I went Fuku crazy. If you would have told me 3 years ago that the whole world didn't revolt against the nuclear cartel when our greatest fears happened, I would have said you're crazy. I had no idea how gone the American populace was. I knew it was ignorant. That's why I named my socioeconomic post-ignorance. I knew they were grotesquely ignorant, but I had no idea. I was doing my PhD. I'd walk up to people. I broke it down to 5 classes. I broke it down to professors, grad students, undergrad, working class, and homeless. I'd walk around. This is in the Teabagger Revolt days. 2,000 interviews. What's your opinion of Congress? Everybody had an opinion. 2,000 with 2,000. We hate them, we hate them. I never got one positive response, never. Second question, who's your congressman? Third question, what's the difference between a congressman and a senator? 94 people out of 2,000 got it right. The biggest demographic that got it right were the homeless. Professors got it wrong. I knew we were a very, very ignorant populace. Not a commentary. That's a documentary. It's common fact. Socioeconomists have worked on this data for some time now. We have an ignorance epidemic, and I knew that. When Fukushima happened, I knew that it was going to cut across all cultural dynamics. I knew that it would break down dogmatism. I thought the dogma would be over. Because there's nowhere to hide, and it doesn't matter. Rich, poor, black, white, young, old, sick, healthy, it doesn't matter. I mean, I call it the reverse lottery. I went crazy. Who would ever believe I going crazy that it's going to give you leukemia, it's going to give you leukemia every day, going right there, and boom, I get the worst kind of leukemia 7 months later. It's an amazing story. But what's even more amazing about it is the dogma and the sheep sleep. The IAEA went to work, just like they did in Chernobyl. The IAEA spent $4 billion. The World Health Organization, the IAEA, the UN are all then captured by the nuclear cartel. I didn't realize how big the capture was in academia. I knew how Operation Foxconn, Fox News, I knew that CNN, was part of it. Operation Foxconn. I knew that. I didn't realize CBS, ABC, NBC. I knew that Reuters, yes, I knew. I didn't realize they were all in, and I didn't realize there were no people inside those organizations with any integrity. There were no John Kennedys. There were no Bobby Kennedys. There were no Abraham Lincolns. There were no Harriet Beecher Stowe. There were no Tom Browns. There were no nothing. Scared, tiny, afraid men. All over the world. Europe's not abstract to this. What do you know, Europe? You don't get Fukushima plutonium? You probably get it more than us because you got so much from Chernobyl. But no, everybody plays ball. Is it because the standard of living is higher? No, the standard of living has went dramatically down in the last 12 years. Technology makes more people comfortable? Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. They get in their car, they feel good. You know, they're a little cocoon. They get on their iPad, you talk on their cell phone, just close up and go into this cocoon of ignorance. They're dogma snuggies. Listen to Operation Foxconn. Why would not Fox News be pounding this? This is so blatant and corrupt. So, the second biggest stockpile of plutonium, first, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Second, the House of Windsor, right there in jolly old England. Third, the Ukraine. Oh, yeah, there's a giant amount of plutonium. Is Putin the new czar? Absolutely, he's the new czar. Same dynamic then as 1914? Absolutely, it's the exact same dynamic. There was one inbred royal family, dysfunctional royal family. The Black Hand pulled that trigger, set that thing, but that dynamic was in place for a while now. There were natural resources fights going between Russia and England. Germany, they the one that rose up? Yeah, in a very acute, abstract, bizarre way. Happened right there. Waterloo? I don't know if this is going to be a Waterloo and it's going to reverse. Technology that exists. If you control all the plutonium on Earth, you control all these nuclear reactors on Earth, you control this whole apparatus, Department of Energy, you control the world. You can extract any natural resource anytime you want, because if you control that, you just simply point it at them and you threaten them. Or else tell her, Star Wars, nuclear tipped freaking, that was him. Kennedy was the last one that came out totally 100% anti-nuclear. All in anti-nuclear, the last man we had in the White House. The last man. The rest, every single one of them, the Queen's bitch on a leash. She leads them around like they're little bitch that they are. Barack Obama, he can't stand up. A coward? Oh, yeah. Hell, I'm the worst kind. George W. Bush, the greatest coward. He was nothing more than freaking George H. Bush's freaking third term, second term, overcoming Clinton. H. Bush couldn't stand the thought that freaking Clinton beat, Clinton. Walmart. There were some things that happened in the 90s that were good. We had no inflation. That came from the Volcker Fed. Greenspan hijacks the Fed. Operation Foxconn goes all in. All in. Why would they not be attacking Hillary on this? It's a slam dunk. It's a political slam dunk. Oh, I get it. They're on the same team. I see now. It's all a smokescreen to keep the things exactly the way they are, status quo. This is the greatest feudal system in human history. This is bigger than William Wallace 700 years ago. This is bigger than 1914. One inbred family rules? Oh, yeah. You don't think one inbred family's ruling now? Oh, yeah. They let certain people in just like they did then. Come on in. You can be one of us. 1830s, 1840s, 1850s. Started to lead up, same system. I'm a plantation owner. I'm a northern industrialist. In the north, we take children. We enslave children in the freaking slums of Pittsburgh. That's our workforce. In the south, we take freaking African Americans. Human beings. Because we believe in usury. Where are the Harriet Beecher Stowes? Where are they? Where are the men of integrity? Where are the great thinkers out in the street? There aren't any. They think they're comfortably numb. They were born in the cage. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to think. They're conned so easily. This is what's going on in Russia is a very big deal. We still have the the nightmare going at WIPP down in Carlsbad. As it's been reported now that the DOE didn't even report. Radnet's detection device had a 33-minute delay on it. Well, that's how they play. The Department of Energy, Westinghouse, they have, I was in D.C. November 4th, right when TEPCO was sanctioned to the White House. Ernest was the head of the Department of Energy, Ernie Moxie Fuel from MIT, Gina McCarthy, Gina Nuclearism McCarthy, John Holdren, Cal Berkeley, Eugenics U, billions of bills, they're on the winning team. I was there. I went to the party. If you've ever been in D.C., go to D.C. Now, you think Washington, D.C. is overcompensation for ugly people? Oh, to the 10th power. You go to Washington, you get up in the morning, watch how many people jog. Everybody's running. Yeah, and one thing, I travel a lot around the country. One thing, you will not see any beautiful people in Washington, D.C. There are no beautiful people. There's a lot of beautiful people around, physically beautiful people. What is D.C.? Overcompensation for their ugliness? Oh, yeah. Oh, on Balco. I'm serious. Go there. Go there. It's a bunch of type A ugly people that are trying to overcompensate on Balco. It's outrageous. They're out jogging. You'll never see so many ugly people. There's no beautiful people there. None. Zero. Overcompensation? So, I go to the Department of Energy. It's ironic. I'm standing being interviewed by RT. John Fairhurst and I, as we led the Million Masked Man March the day before. Right as they go in. I wanted a historical marker of that day. So I went over to the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Monsanto. I went over to the Department of, we know what the Department of Energy is. The Department of General Electric, Westinghouse, the Department of Cancer. The Treasury, right there. Hamilton's statue. You can watch it. Go to my YouTube page right there. That's there. Hamilton's grave. I made a misquote because I just got back from Hamilton's grave, which I marched from Washington Square to Hamilton's grave. We marched on September 28th from there. His statue right there, he paid himself zero. Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of the Treasury, had 80 employees. They were Coast Guard. Paid himself zero. Polson robbed for $400 billion. Bernanke, helicopter ban. Currency not going to be crashed, is crashed. Gone. Euro goes from 75 cents to $1.37, went to $1.60. Gone. You can't avoid that. That is the lowering of quality of life in America cut in half. Your wealth just there's no way to avoid that. You think gold? Yeah. Well, if you got in gold early, maybe. Maybe you bought some Tesla stock, got lucky at $12, which I recommended, by the way, $250. And all you guys in the Bay Area who were going gold crazy right before I got cancer, I said, why don't you buy something responsible? Buy some Tesla stock. And you got it at $14, $13, $15. It's at $250. Take your freaking profits. I do accept, gratuities. You're welcome. You're welcome. I go into the Department of Energy on that day. You know how massive the Department of Energy is in D.C.? Little teeny secret door. You can't even find the front door. It's so gigantic. It takes several city blocks. Several. It's the biggest. It dwarfs them all. It's the Department of Nuclear is. Nuclear has nothing to do with energy. It's dirty. It's filthy. Its carbon footprint's much more than anything we've ever used. Uranium mines. It's about power and control. You control the world's freaking nuclear industry, you control the world. That's what's going on in Ukraine right now. It's very scary. 15 reactors right now, there. A lot of plutonium. Remember, do not kid yourself. The Cold War, you think the Cold War, all that stuff that Russia built up, don't forget the Tsar bomb. Remember when, it's a fact that FDR, when he died, if FDR wouldn't have died, I don't think the bomb would have got dropped. He had a relationship with Stalin. He understood that Stalin and Russia did all the heavy lifting. 27 million dead men. They were all dead. There were no men left. They were down to fighting with 14-year-old girls at the end. But the Battle of Stalingrad, they held off Hitler. That's what broke their back. And then the Americans did so much great work. And, people can go back onto the Japanese thesis that we dropped the bomb. And let's not forget the Bataan death marches. Let's not forget what the evil emperor in Japan did to American boys. Let's never forget that. Evil beyond evil. Those men would line up in the concentration camps in nothing more than a diaper, starving to death, back to back. And the reason the Americans would go back to back when one died, the others would slit their throat and drink their blood to try to stay alive. They starved them to death. They put them in, I mean, it was horrible what the Japanese emperor was doing to the American boys. It was horrible, horrible. There was no turning back that clock. There was no way Truman was not. But why did they drop 2? That's Frank Oppenheimer's words, not mine. It's horrible. It's horrible. And somehow we think that the Japanese they just accepted massive death. Oh, they just accept Fukushima. Bullshit. Japan has fought back hard, very hard. Millions and millions and millions of people in the street. Post-Fukushima rallies, I was looking at the one in Turkey yesterday, the photograph. Millions in the street. Did you see CBS, ABC, NBC, Reuters, any of them? Did you see that on the news anywhere? Some of the biggest protests in human history. Still, to this day. They're protesting over there all weekend, this weekend, because the prosecution was dropped. Because why do you think Barack Obama was going over there April 22nd? Oh, we have, a guy wrote an article, we got to reboot nuclear energy in Japan. Oh, really? Really? It's been 3 years without nuclear energy. I don't see any rolling blackouts. It was said, they recommended that you turn down your thermostat in the summer, or turn it up from 72 to 80 for 2 months a year. Now, you go back to the fishing industry in northern Japan, you go to that 27th generation farmer and ask him, hey, to give back your land, to give back your whole area, to give back your life, would you be willing to turn up your thermostat 8 degrees 2 months a year? Are you kidding? The mass murder of people who had to flee, just that alone is enough to end nuclear. What part of Chernobyl do you fucks not get? What part of Fukushima do you fucks not get? What part of the WIPP in Carlsbad do you not understand? There's no answer for the waste. We've heard for 40 years, oh yeah, we got answers. There's no answers. This is control freaks out of control, just like it was in 1914. And the murder of World War I, World War I too was horrible, horrible. Oh my God. Go over there to Belgium. How deep are the bodies stacked? Gas. They gassed them. Einstein's best friend. Einstein was a pacifist. Oppenheimer said no. Oh, Teller said yes, and we just kept going. Because we as Americans are control freaks, and we're out of fucking control. And our populace is weak. We are weak. We are turned into cowards. We get a gun because we're afraid. We signed the Patriot Act because we're afraid. What good is that going to do you? You give up all your liberties, all your free. I'm all for owning a gun. I mean, but to take a Glock and go to a freaking gun range and somehow that should dig? What? Girls with pink gun? What? What are we doing here? Really, what are we doing here? You can't fight with any intellectual capacity. Right, left. It's sickening. I mean, I have conversations over and over. It's a simple economic theory that's been around 30 years ago. Everybody knew we had these debates. We had them in the halls of Congress. We had them on the street. We had them at keg parties. It's just like about tariffs. We were anti-usury. We were anti-queen. We were anti-monarchy system. That's what America is. America, nothing more than the experiment, anti-usury, anti-monarchy system. There was nothing more quintessentially American to hate the queen, to hate the system. We didn't believe in inherited wealth. That's why we didn't have, we go build a trust now, we can backdoor him. My grandpa was a multi-millionaire. Amazing man. On these sand pits along the mighty Wasatch. He left each one of his daughters $30,000. He left it all to charity. That's what men did. Warren Buffett talks about it. We did not believe in enslaving other people. Alexander Hamilton, the Tariff Act of 1789, to incentivize the buying of homemade goods, to pay off the debt. We can't have these conversations. You're willing to get up at 5:30 in the morning and work. The work week is getting longer and longer for 37 consecutive years. Frederick Taylor, the father of the work week, said anything over 40 hours, you start to become regressive. The productivity goes down. Greenspan used to say, American productivity has increased for the 78th consecutive quarter. You know what? That's the biggest lie. He used to say that all through the 90s. That is the greatest terrorist who ever walked, Alan freaking Greenspan. All that meant is Americans are working longer hours. American productivity went up, yeah, for all that time through the 90s, into the 2000s, and then it stopped. Working longer, I mean, where does it end? Two of you working 65 hours a week to have the exact same lifestyle your parents had, with one person working 40 hours a week. Operation Foxconn. If you do not think that Fox Can't you see what you're doing to me? Because I love you. Leave your message, Kevin Blanch.
You're on.
Get rid of that ice inside your soul. Stay on Tuna, the Post-Ignorance Project.
You're on, Kevin. You're back on.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Kevin D. Blanch, the Post-Ignorance Project. Stay on Tuna. Leave your message. I'll call you back. Bye.
We lost Kevin. You there, Kevin? You're live.
But anyway, Steve Jobs calls, or Barack Obama calls Steve Chinese Jobs to the Situation Room. Steve, what about bringing our jobs back to America? Steve Jobs was a prick. By the way, he was an he was worried about cancer his whole life. He was the guy wouldn't even take a shower because he was afraid of getting, from the water. I mean, his subconscious read that he was going to get cancer, and people just say, oh, these oligarchs all have all the money they can save. One of my doctors was one of Steve Jobs' doctors. He threw the kitchen sink. He died. He says, are you kidding? They left and they're never coming back. And I said this long before Steve Jobs ever got cancer. The only thing not coming back is Steve Chinese Jobs. Well, they'll come back when the baby boomers die because we're so dogma. Oh, free market, fair job. We're going to sell our goods abroad. Yeah, what are we going to sell? So you look up the documentary Cocaine Cowboys and you watch. This country has always been a quintessential fight by imported cheap goods or imported bad things, and we've always it's an evolution. It was tea. I mean, Sam Adams dressed up like Indians and threw the tea off in the Boston Harbor. White Anglo-Saxons were living here for 150 years. That's what we've all fought back against. These wars. Cotton, molasses, Hamilton, slaves, human beings from Africa. It's always been that fight between making wealth off something bad and morality. Is it good or bad? Well, what is it now? It's evolved. I'm telling you. We don't export anything. Oh, yes, we do. Plutonium. Nuclear bombs from Y-12 when we sign in violation of the law. Now, the Nobel group over there, it's so grotesque that they haven't taken Barack Obama's Nobel Prize back. But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. We had The Hague. We had different places that lived abstract, Switzerland, that lived abstractly. That we would have these organizations that stood against all of these things. Nobody stands up against the nuclear cartel. Do you think Putin's just going to lay down and hand the queen? They'll strike a deal. They'll strike a deal because he's their inbred cousin, just like Catherine the Great was. I think Putin might as well just move into the Hermitage. By the way, the Hermitage, her winter palace in St. Petersburg. You know, all that great art that was hidden in the bottom. It's a really great book when it came up out of there. Nobody had seen it since the 1940s. It was sitting in the bottom of the Hermitage. All those beautiful Van Goghs, and he might as well move back in there. And then we need to build one for Hillary and the Bush cartel and the whole group of them. They need to get their own winter power. Oh, they already have one. Yeah, it's smaller, I guess. The White House. They're all the Queen's bitch on a leash. Every single politician out there. Hanford. We need to talk quickly about Hanford. Hanford is leaking grotesquely. The Pacific genocide is very real. Fukushima is genocide, but so is Hanford. Hanford is genocide in the Pacific. Double fold in Washington. Bechtel was paid to put triple air tanks around Hanford. They were paid. What's Hanford? That's where the water is. The plutonium's still stored clear back from the Manhattan Project. It was said clear back then. How can you keep pushing nuclear power and just hypothesize how future generations are going to handle this? You don't know what future generations do. They were right. We didn't realize the future generations were a bunch of baby boomers who want it all. They don't want to pay. They want wars they don't want to pay for. They want a pill to freaking make their dick go up. They want everything just freaking easy. But nuclear fire, we ain't dealing with that. We're not going to pay to freaking take care of that. Oh, but you did pay. Bechtel comes right out and says, yeah, we got paid. We were supposed to put triple tanks around those single tanks, and they've rotted through, and they're working out there, but fuck you. And the taxpayer says, oh, okay, thank you, Bechtel, because we're the abused, battered woman, the American coward. Oh, thank you, Bechtel, for robbing us. Thank you. No prosecution, no nothing, because politicians think Marty's bought and paid for. She's a billionaire. Not a millionaire, she's a billionaire. Bill, nuclear, I stole everything I ever had from WordPerfect and Novell, Netscape. Talk to Anderson about that creepy, I knew it, and little fucking wormy weasel and mom. You know, that nuclear's not very bad if you take out Chernobyl and Fukushima out of it. I put my software on the runner. Yeah, my 2013. Still won't even correct the freaking capital spell word. I fucked every one of you. Bechtel. They tell you straight up, you in Seattle, comfortably numb. Why is Seattle so comfortable? Oh, because they got the fastest rising real estate values in the world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're the new Bay Area. Comfortably numb. Ooh, you know, I'm living in my mom's house. I bought this little house. It's up, 15 times. And ooh, don't rock the boat. Tourism economy. You know, the CMA, the California Medical Association, comes out and says, we want all the fish tests. Why I was at the hearings of the USS Reagan this summer. I was at the hearings this summer. I have the transcript, by the way. I like all you people want to talk about it now. The hearing went on this summer. I was the only one media there. The only media, just like I was the only media at I was the only international media at the Megan Rice Center. The only one. There's local media there. Just like it down there. Local media in San Diego and me. With my cameras confiscated. They admit it. Just like the hearings in TEPCO admits something starting April 3rd, 2011. Just like I reported. Went crazy that day. They all admit it. They admit it. Right to you, right in your face. You do nothing. Because our politicians, you don't even know the difference between senator or freaking congressman. Yeah. Look, politicians don't change things. People change politicians. FDR's words. FDR was an oligarch. It was from the bottom up that changed him. It was from the bottom up that changed John Kennedy. He was an oligarch. Rachel Carson changed him. One person. We can't quit. A small little teeny group. Hanford pouring into the freaking aquifer. You're eating salmon, pouring into the Pacific Ocean. Now there's a crack in one of the dams. As we refuse, we're such, the baby boomer, our parents built this great infrastructure, handed us all this equity on a silver platter. We put up all the equity and went in debt. 0% interest rates for 14 years now. Thrashed the dollar. Not gonna happen. Mission accomplished. Happened. Stole our children's future. Stole our grandchildren. Us, we did it because we don't fight back in a logical, intelligent way. No, we get caught up in a wedge issue, and we just go with it. We go with it, and we divide up. Operation Foxconn. It worked on all of us. It worked on everybody, left, right. Fukushima's the dynamic that can break the back of all of this. It should have been. It should have been. The nuclear cartel. Now we have a plutonium war. The Queen wants all the plutonium. She wants to colonize that region of Russia. That's exactly how World War I started. That's why the Soviet Union captured. That area is rich with natural resources. What do you think Afghanistan was about? Building a pipeline from the Caspian Sea to the port. Get out a map and do your geography. How hard is it to get that oil? Very hard. Same with Iraq. Same with Kuwait. Who owned all the Iraqi oil? It was Russian firms and Russian companies. That's why we went into Iraq. Now who owns it? British Petroleum. Shell Oil. It's nothing. Russia, the last one standing? Oh yeah, it's the last. They've colonialized the entire world. De Beers, go back clear to Beer. Rhodesia? Who's Rhodesia? Now let's talk. Oh, Rhodesia. Now, he had a country named after him? Oh, that's the Rhodes Scholar guy? That's how Rhodes Scholar, Bill Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar? Oh. Hillary Westinghouse Clinton is related to 17 previous players. I love how you all go into the Illuminati and bloodlines. Yeah, bloodlines and wealth have always, the United States has always been the place to fight that back. Russia tried for a while. They went right back to the czars. Putin was the new czar. Pussy Riot gets this. Here's Megan Rice, 84-year-old, the protege of this whole movement of Martin Luther King. Madeline Rice, her mom, I knew very well. And here's these young girls, Pussy Riot, 25 years old. The same thing. They're fighting the exact same thing. Go to Church of Russia. And isn't that right? Think about Rhodesia. Rhodesia was a pedophile, like little boys, little children. Oh, so do the royals in England. They're sick. They're sick. It's an inbred, dysfunctional, sick family. It's sick. Their new tool is plutonium. You control the plutonium of the world, you control the world. The last one standing, they have not colonialized yet, is that region of Russia, which we've been working on it hard. That's what freaking Iraq was about. That's what Afghanistan was about. Their natural resources wars. The House of Windsor. Where did the money trace after 9/11? Look it up. Too big to jail. Just type in too big to jail. Watch those freaking, wow. Pretty amazing. They bought puts on there. That's what was funny. Those people were paying those guys. Yeah, they were Saudis. Now think about Saudi Arabia. It's named Saudi Arabia because the Saudi royal family took it over. Think about the most repressed regime on earth. Who's just recently been over there? There's Prince Little Inbred, Baby Charles, or whatever his little inbred name is, over there dressed up. You get out of hand and you go against the thing. How are they able to do that? Oh, that giant military base. You think those Saudis like being repressed like that? You want to talk about royals. 1%, you want to talk about a 1% society there. How are they able to, why do you think 16 out of 19 freaking terrorists were Saudis? They were Saudis. Oh, Brother Bandar. Bush's brother. He called him his brother. For real. For real. George W. Bush called Bandar his brother. He called him Brother Bandar. He used to sleep at their house. Sleep at the White House. Oh, who built up the kingdom? Oh, bin Laden's dad built up the kingdom. All based on oil. It's been said. The prince in Saudi Arabia. He flies a Learjet. His father drove a Rolls Royce. His father's father rode a camel. His son will ride a camel. Because they're going to do to them what they do to everybody. They extract everything and just spit back on, we're not protecting you anymore. And their masses will rise up and take the country back. But it's a long cycle that happens. Plutonium, the new oil. Gold, oh, they already pulled that one off. Rio Tinto, the biggest open copper mine in the world right here, right here. You look at those videos I do at the Capitol, that's it right there in the background. Second biggest gold producing mine on earth. Manipulate the price anytime they want. Kaiser's so dead wrong on all that. You know how much gold's been produced in the last 10 years? I mean, gold's sitting up there 1,500, 1,300, 1,800. Weight the dollar against it. Weight the dollar against freaking oil. Let's compare gold to, say, Apple stock or Tesla or Google. Opportunity cost. Let's see, the Dow went from 6,000 to 16,000. Everything they do is manipulate to the 1%. Obama has no power. He got in there and he was schooled and told. Head of Harvard Law. Yeah, nothing African-American. He knows nothing about the African-American plight. Nothing. Hillary does. Hillary knows the elitist. She used the word Westinghouse in Czechoslovakia, and yesterday they pulled the contract. Mission accomplished. Operation Foxconn. Well, what can we do about it? What we can do about it? Simple. State by state, town by town, usury laws. Look up what Jesus Christ threw the money changers out of the temple. Simple. County by county, city by city, state by state. You put usury laws, you freaking burn these guys' bridge. Tariffs. Individual states can do tariffs. I can't believe California hasn't done it yet. They'll be the first to do it. I can't believe it. The economy's so giant. If California come out, Jerry fake moonbeam, boy, was he a fraud. I stood with Jerry Brown at Diablo Canyon when we were building that. He was there. He was protesting. Not now. And we did get sent up for shut down, but the waste is just sitting around. Plutonium wars. Because once you own all the world's plutonium, you own all the world's nuclear weapons, and it's not going to work, by the way. When Sakharov, FDR wanted to play ball, and would have said, hey, here's Stalin, here's part of the freaking technology, and we could have dropped one just to show Japan, and they could have freaking took that emperor out. Why didn't they just go drop a small bomb right on the emperor's house? No, they slaughtered a populace. They left him standing. Shoguns in Japan again? Oh, yeah, it's so corrupt. Yeah, we need nuclear power. Yeah, they've been out with the 3 years. If Japan doesn't prove to you that nuclear power is a scam, it's nothing but control freaks out of control. That inbred, elitist family. We need tariffs back to pay off the debt. Tariffs could turn this whole country around so quick. You slapped a 25, 50% tariff on any good being used, Bangladesh slaves, shirtwaist fire, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 on Balco. You slapped it down on them. You know how much money would fuel to the Treasury? The dollar would reel in. Jobs would come back. Not to mention the debt would be paid off. The interest rate could float up to a normal time. The hyperinflation would end. And we could get this country back on the right track. America was the tariff country. McKinley, himself the great tariff president, they whacked in. All these wars are the same thing. We can't compete globally with this massive. We're forcing, Americans didn't put up with it. It was immoral to enslave another human being, no matter what color they are, who they were. These are slaves over there in concrete bunkers. All American companies are using them. They're over there. But nuclear's how they keep them in check. It's nuclearism. Nuclear energy is so outdated. It was such a fallacy. We're going to put a little pellet in your car. It was a fairy. We're going to be flying our own little spaceship by the year 2000. They all taught us that. It was a dream. It was a fairy tale. It was a lie. Oppenheimer backed out. But we just kept going with it. Now it's the control mechanism. We'll see how this plays out in Russia. They'll strike a deal. Hell, Putin ain't going to give up his wealth and power. That little freaking dwarf freaking sitting up there on his perch. Pussy rights said themselves. We stay on the subject matter, but hopefully I'll be in New York for the 25th of the 100th anniversary, and hey, we can get something brewed up there. I mean, small people can make a big change. We don't need a mass quantity. We need intellects, strong young intellects. Sorry about the technical difficulties there for a minute. It happens. Stay in tune. For a replay of this.
All hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck.